In this section, we're going to be going over pull routes. Now, I definitely introduced this in the beginner's manual, but again, we're going to go much more in depth in this section. So in the beginner's manual, we talked about how we use streak routes to pull open our corner routes and crossing routes, stuff like this where we use a streak route to run off a deep blue to open up that crosser or corner, right? So again, we're going to go a couple levels above that now. So again, there's many pull routes. So and again, a pull route, just to reiterate, is when we use a route to get another route open. So it can kind of be used as like a decoy route to pull a zone one way to open up another receiver on a route. So again, for example, we're going to utilize corner routes. So if you guys ever wonder how the pros, do these cover 2 bombs, cover 3 bombs that they love to advertise, and you see, them just get over the top with ease, I'm going to show you guys how. I'm going to show you guys the concept behind it. So again, and all that is them utilizing these pull routes. So again, say that you know that your opponent is running a cover 3. So to get someone open deep, we're going to utilize a corner route to pull out the outside third. Just like how we were using streak routes to push back the outside third, now we're going to use a corner route to push the outside third towards the outside and to open up the deep left outside. So again, we're kind of going to flood the deep left half of the field. And again, it's a 2v1 matchup, as we talk about, as I discussed a lot in the beginner's manual. And I'll spy the D line here, but as you can see here, well, what the outside corner did is he was occupied by that corner route. Because again, the main responsibility of the outside third here in cover 3 is this deep what should I say? I keep trying to say deep outside half, but this outside third of the field here. So basically anything outside the numbers is the responsibility of this deep blue. And what we're going to do is we're going to, again, utilize a 2v1 matchup. So we're going to run 2 guys in his area. And what we're going to do is one of the guys we're running in his area is going to be this corner out. So the outside third has to respect this corner out because that's his main responsibility, is the outside third of the field, the left outside third of the field. So again, he's just playing his responsibility because, again, that's what he's assigned to do, is guard this part of the field. So again, he's pulled by this corner out because, again, he's running into this defender's assignment. So the defender has to guard him, and then what happens is he gives up this route over the top for basically a touchdown. And I'll show you guys that again. Again, let me spy everyone just to kind of show you guys. And again, that's what opens up that deep part of the field. So when you see these pros, you're wondering, damn, how did this guy just get that guy open over the top? Did he glitch him? Did he? No, it's just utilizing these pull routes. So it's all about knowing what gets the zones to follow. So again, if you want an outside third to kind of follow one particular route to open up another part of the field, is you can use these corner routes, and then you can run another receiver in that guy's area to get over the top of him. So again, this is, as we talked about in the beginner's manual, utilizing these 2v1 matchups. So again, like when we were attacking deep in the beginner's manual versus cover 2, we talked about the 2v1 matchups. And when we were attacking the silence, we were talking about 2v1 matchups. So again, it's the same in this course, but we're just adding a lot more depth into it now. So again, he's distracted. He's pulled by this outside corner route, and again, 2 people are running into his zone. And again, he just has to pick his poison. And his main responsibility is the outside third. So he runs with his main responsibility, which is the corner route, running to that deep outside third, and that's what's going to open up this fade deep down the middle of the field. So again, that's one example of how to beat cover 3 deep. Now, again, we can do this versus cover 2 as well. Again, we went over this a little bit in the beginner's guide, but again, we'll go into it in more depth now. So, and obviously I'm going to have gameplay examples at the end. I highly recommend it, as I use pull routes all the time to open up my routes when I'm developing my plays. Pull routes are one of the number one tools I use in developing my plays. Is probably the number one tool. So even on a play, let's say I want to bomb cover 2. And I actually did this in the Carolina Panthers Club series. Somebody who kept, so what the guy did was he would man up, he would run cover 2 and man up Y. And again, this is a concept, this is called hybrid coverage. And again, I actually have a course on this and I highly recommend this style of defense. And again, I go into a lot more depth in that in the hybrid course. But again, so this is what the guy was doing versus me. So again, he knows that the most popular cover 2 beater in trips tight end is verticals. So what he did was, to take that away, he ran cover 2 and manned up my main cover 2 beater. So that really eliminated my main deep cover 2 beater. But again, we kind of adjusted on him in the game. And again, I also go into more depth in adjusting in game in one of my other courses. But again, for now, I was basically telling myself, okay, he's still running cover 2 and taking away one of my main deep beating routes. So I was thinking to myself, okay, cover 2 is still weak deep. He's just taking away one of my receivers by manning him up. So what I did was I would do something like this. So I kind of used Y as my decoy route since he was manning him up. And I know that the corner route is going to pull, as you saw in the last example, that the corner route on the left is going to pull the deep half towards the left outside. And I'm going to have a corner route on the right side as well. And I'm going to smart route him because, again, I know that corner route is going to pull the deep half towards the outside again. Because, again, the deep half's responsibility is that deep outside. So their first reaction is going to be to cover those receivers running in its area. So again, we're going to run. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to run receivers in to the deep halves, to the deep half part of the field, just so we can occupy those deep halves to pull them out. And then that's what's going to open up the deep middle of the field. And again, look at that. Look at how much they get pulled out here. Again, the free safety, not as much because he was, we had a corner route getting man pressed, so it developed slowly. But again, look, he was still pulled out a little bit because look at this. He still has to, pull out towards his corner route a little bit. That's still his first instinct is to kind of pull out there. But again, really look at it on the right side, especially what this corner route did. So again, the deep half's responsibility is this deep half part of the field here. And so when he sees that receiver running to that deep half part of the field, again, his responsibility is to guard that part of the field. So he's always gonna pull that way. He's always gonna gravitate towards that sideline because we have a receiver running out there. Again, our tight end wasn't necessarily one of our main targets on this play. Again, we're utilizing the pull route to get another route open for a touchdown here. And again, pull routes don't always necessarily have to be getting someone else open for a touchdown. Just in this example, it happens to, because again, we're going up against cover 2. So again, look at the deep half here on the right. He's pulled out by the corner route. Look at the deep half on the left too. He's still getting pulled out slightly by the corner route. And that's what's going to open up this deep middle of the field. And again, as we learned in the beginner's manual, we're going to want to pass lead this inside away from the free safety. And it's going to be an easy touchdown. So when you guys see these pros get over the top like this is how they're doing it. They're utilizing these pull routes. And if you guys are watching this right now, I would try to drop some plays yourself. Drop 2 cover 3 or drop 2 cover 2 beaters with pull routes. Drop 2 cover 3 beaters with pull routes. And again, we're still gonna get into more. We're still gonna get into more concepts as well. So that was just one more example utilizing the corner routes to pull defenders to get them open deep. So And again, I'll show you guys an example in bunch as well. So in bunch, it's going to be somewhat similar, but there's going to be one difference. You guys will see what I mean in a second here. But again, you guys, you can do this concept in any formation, and I'll do that for you guys as well. Again, I'm just showing you guys in the main formations right now. And again, a lot of the big reasons these are the main formation is because we have so many of these corner outs. Again, as I talked about on the base plays, again, you want to look for those post and corner outs. So again, I talked about on the base plays how the corner routes are really good for attacking the silence, but they also act as really good pull routes as well. So again, that's why people gravitate towards the trips and the bunch, is because they have the best routes in the game, the best stock routes in the game. All right, so here again, we'll go with another example to beat cover 2 deep. So again, I want you guys to be thinking for yourselves too. Like, try to think of plays in your own formation, or plays that you can do, that you can drop, that utilize pull routes. Again, don't just watch this and then just take it in and then not really like write anything down. I would highly recommend, as you guys' homework, just kind of try to drop some plays yourself where you can utilize these pull routes. But again, we're gonna do this in bunch now. So again, instead of a corner route on the left side and bunch, because we can't really utilize a corner route and bunch unless we're in Carolina, because it has that C route. But again, we're gonna use a comeback instead, and it's gonna play the same role where it's gonna pull the free safety towards the sideline. So watch here. Again, watch the free safety. Watch the and watch the strong safety. Again, the strong safety is in a predicament because we're utilizing a 2v1 matchup. And again, look at the free safety here. Again, he knows his main responsibility is this deep half part of the field. So we're going to run a receiver to that deep half part of the field. So again, that receiver is going to pull the free safety because he's running into his area. He's running to that defender's responsibility. So again, that's what's going to open up the seam streak down the deep middle of the field. Again, you could also throw the wheel right here because again, this strong safety is just in a dilemma. Again, it's a 2v1 matchup. Again, and we touched on that in the beginner's manual a lot, but again, we gotta take advantage of this 2v1's matchup. Again, it's just basic math. So again, let me spy my guy so I can show you guys, just for example, how this works. Again, we will do that again. Again, you see how that strong safety at the last second kind of got pulled by that wheel route. Again, and we can also throw, I think it would be better with the fade, but we can also throw this wheel route as well. But you see how this guy like pulled out towards the wheel route and then came back in. He just made phenomenal play here. They're usually not going to play this, but again, you can also throw this outside wheel route as well. And I think to make it more effective, this isn't a formation this is not my main formation, but if I were to run this formation, I think to make this more effective, it would be to run him on the fade, just so he would get out there, just so he has to respect the deep half right away. So what's happening right now is, since the wheel route is kind of trailing the seam streak, even though the strong safety's responsibility is at deep half, since the seam streak is the first immediate threat, he's kind of running with that. So the adjustment we can make is, and again, I'm doing this on the fly, is just motioning him out on a fade, and I think this would make this a lot more effective. See, yeah, and that's gonna open it up now for a touchdown. See, that was really the difference there. Was putting that outside fade because again, he has now the deep half. The deep half sees that, okay, there's not one immediate threat, there's kind of two immediate threats, and he still kind of has to respect this outside guy first. So again, it's a deep half, so you see how he's like, he's more backing up into this deep half part of the field. So again, he's just gonna take a misstep here, and again, he's gonna be behind this and we're going to be able to beat this for a touchdown in. We can also even lob this as well, since this free safety is getting pulled so much, and since we just have to worry about one guy deep, and we talked about this in the beginner's manual, when there's only one guy deep like that, again, we can kind of lob it away from him. So we can do that again. Again, Brady doesn't have the best arm, but you can kind of see how open that got. You know, if we had someone with a little bit more throw power, but you see, look at how much how much this guy is getting pulled here. See, again, look at him. He even bites down here. He fully runs out towards the sideline, bites down on this route, and look at how open the middle of the field is here. Again, I also snapped this a little bit later too, so again, look at how much the deep half is pulling towards the sideline, pulling towards the sideline, pulling towards the sideline. This guy really pulling towards the sideline here, even bit down on the route, and it's just the middle of the field is just gonna be wide open. And if we have someone with throw power here, look at how bad. So Godwin had him beat here by a few steps. Again, Brady just kind of has a noodle arm, but you can see how how wide open the middle of the field is here. So again, since he underthrew it, we probably could have possession caught this instead of racking it. But again, you can kind of see like how easy of a touchdown that's going to be if someone has throw power and how much they're pulling towards the outside. Now let's kind of move on to, okay, so we went over the corner routes a lot.